Although it is fun to experience a wide range of tracks too.
Yeah, I do agree with that, and I kinda was hoping for this actually, and I kinda did ask for this as well among other people. Oh, but they're racing.
They are indeed. William Adama with the rough start. I do remember there being a cut on this track. Is it not a pretty ridiculous cut? Maybe not allowed on this track. Maybe was fixed. But regardless, we've got Flo and Ryals as well as Jeromu leading us out. All on the Campbell R. Flo getting launched by Ryals. A couple of Yanissas in the mix, but a lot of Campbell R's taking those front positions right now.
Yeah, I think a few people are driving through the pit lane, which is not something I know that I saw a rule for, so I might have to check that if that is allowed.
Ooh, yeah. Ryle's taking a bit of a cut through the pit stop. Zyno, Tova, Tom Dom spun around, fighting with Almo a little bit.
It
Zy-
definitely seems like a strong track for Campbell Dodd. Riles, yeah, Riles is taking the pit lane.
yeah,
He's on a rule, he
it's interesting.
is using it. Oh, in the meantime, William fighting for sixth in the same car. But Olmo and Inigo aren't on Campbell Dodd, I think. Or is that Inigo's? I'm not sure. So William is trying to come back up in the places a bit, I believe, at the moment.
Difficult start at the beginning for him.
Yeah, as
Ooh,
Riles and Shiramu battle on in the lead. Oh, what's that? Olmo flying away behind William.
couple people flying
Oh,
away there. Ryle's missing the entryway. It's going to be Tom Dom soaring in second place. It looked like Jerome messed up too, potentially, because Tom Dom is now mere 5 meters away. We see somebody flying off into the sky. Zyno seemed to have a couple of issues with his landings. Oh, Tom Dom struggling to keep it straight too. I'm not sure what is happening there, but given a bunch of trouble to some of these racers. Jerome is still 20 meters out in the lead. Already some lap traffic in Roddick. Tries to get by.
yeah, and it definitely seems like Unisa is harder to handle out of the two cars that are fighting for the lead. To me, at least. But the way Tom Dom drives it, it also
Ooh!
seems aggressive. So maybe that's why. Wow, what a move! I think Jeremy have difficulties going up the hill on the bumps, but then they collide. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Tom Dom spun on his own or it was purely the fact that Jeremy hit him. But now it's
Riles.
back in turn. Jeremy is struggling in this section.
Oh.
Tom Dom pushing him now, and Tom Dom losing a lot more time with that. It was not an
Kabaiches.
intentional push by any means, from what I can tell. But
Ooh. We have a
Tom
new
Dom
first place.
suffered for it. And yeah, it's a lead change. Kubaizu's taking the lead.
Came out of nowhere, honestly. It looks like Jeromu has been defending first so well, but just some mistakes here and there. Kabai's just going through the pit lane. 20 meters.
Yeah, and Riles is also catching Jeromu, so he'll have to fight
Ooh.
for this. Oh, Riles going through the pit lane, of course, and he'll be overtaking Jeromu. It's a big loss to not go into the pit lane.
Feels like it,
And
but also seems like Jeromu gets his car set up a bit better for those turns. Doesn't seem to. I mean, it wouldn't matter though. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. He just seems to be taking a different line on those two turns right there that we just saw. Tom Dom for Zyno has recovered quite a bit in fifth.
yeah, and, William is behind Zino, so that could still be interesting. Oh, Tom Dom is the one catching Jeromo actually.
And making big moves.
And he goes down the inside. Is he gonna get? Oh, I was gonna ask if he was gonna have enough of an exit speed to maintain that position, but Jeromo spun.
Yeah, gotta flip his car. Tom Dom hunting Riles now. Kabaisis has gotten past 3 lap drivers. Is Riles gonna be able to do the same? We'll have to find out. Ooh,
Oh, a
whoa,
lot
whoa,
of lap traffic.
whoa,
Tom Dom
whoa.
flying away there. Tom Dom
Indigo.
passing Riles. They
Yeah.
both go for the pit
Oh,
lane.
oh.
Oh, Riles not surviving it. And Zyno getting closer to Shiromu. More lap traffic coming up ahead for Riles. Oh, by more I mean it's the same lap traffic that he already had trouble with.
Right.
Because he fell back. Oh, he forces his way through. So now he has a bit of a buffer of lap cars between him and Jeromu. She's an advantage. And Zyno is attacking Jeromu, which is also good for him. Zyno,
Oh,
I believe, is on the
wow.
XM250, but Riles crashes again. He's gonna climb over the rock. Was lucky enough not to get X there. And he's now behind Zyno, who's on the podium at the moment.
Yeah, and Jerome is behind him. Series of misfortunate events there. Zyno having one of his own, 100 meters behind Tom Dom at this point. But Tom Dom's hunting Kabaisis, but right when we start to look at him, we see that number go from green all the way into the red, 50 meters away. Third, fourth, fifth, up in contention, Riles, Zyno, and Jeromu. Lap 24 of 32.
Yeah, and I think Tom Dom still has a chance at this. It seems like it's 20 meters at the moment, and there's also a fight going on for sure. Anything could still happen in both of these. One crash could be the end of it, and as far as I can tell, Tom Dom almost catches Kubaizush. They're both going through the pit lane, they're both using Unisa. It's an equal fight in terms of these. But will it be equal in terms of their pace, in terms of how well they can keep it on the track? There's
Ooh.
only 5 laps to go. Once they cross the line, there's gonna be a bit of leg push involved there, I think. Tom Dom takes the lead.
What an overtake that was. Just snuck on by him. 100 meters, Kabaisis ahead of Riles, so he can afford to play a bit aggressive here. I don't know. It seems to be slipping out of his hands, though. He had it for about 12 laps there. A lot of laps. Got a little bit of work left to do. Riles, Jeromu, 40 meters ahead of William Adama.
Oh, Zyno getting lapped and being hit into the wall. What
Yeah.
happened there? Zyno fell back 2 places behind Jeromu and William.
Well,
So he's now down to 6 from that nice comeback there.
rough situation for Zyno, but he was in the middle of Kabaisis' line, so did unfortunately have to
I believe it
happen.
was not only the crash that put him back there, he was already falling back, and that's also why he got caught by the leaders. Oh, Kubaizu's getting closer to Tom Dom again, but it is the last lap.
It's the last lap. Yeah, it
He's
is.
gonna be able to pull anything or try anything.
I mean,
One
come
turn to
on.
go. No dive bomb. He tried
not
his
gonna.
best, but
Yeah. Jeromu and William Adama, bit of a battle, but they're on the final lap as well. Inigo and Almo will try to catch that as well. That looks to be finished here. Yeah, Inigo and Almo beginning their final lap. Tova nearby as well. Battle for 7th place. We have seen Almo make a few mistakes. Inigo almost having one of his own.
and it seems like that will be the finishing order.
Indeed. Tova, Flo, Roddick, Maddie. Tom Dom, the victory to lead us off. It looked like it was going to be Kabaisis. Well, really, it looked like Jeromu was unbeatable. He had an unbeatable pace there at the beginning, but Riles showed some cracks, and then they actually both ended up falling back a couple of positions. William Adama not able to catch anybody, even though he was close by the entire time. Tom Dom able to pass up Kabajis, who looked like he had escaped a couple times.
Yeah, Dom Dom had a nice comeback, to be honest, because he was a few places down, at the very least in third, behind Jerome and Riles, but I don't know if he had a few more people ahead of him, but still, he managed to catch them. And then he still got passed by Kubaizush for a bit,
Yeah.
and it's not to catch Kubaizush. Matty still has 2 laps left.
Finishing us out here on Fox Glen. It is a small map, so it's conceivable by the end of 32 laps be some space. RV Simo on road track up next, 24 laps. We are going to have a bit of a break first, though. See, chat's looking pretty hype. Yep, we going all in on the metrics. That's Pog. Tom Dom came in second to Jeromu in the knockout event. For the Joker event, I'm not sure I quite remember. Be nice to have the results more accessible, but I do think he did quite well in the Joker session. Off to a nice start.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the sheet in a second, but I'm gonna do something right now. Which one do I need? This one. Okay, so points should be set up.
Lovely. Let's hit a scene transition, see what happens. There we are. Just got a little bit more of a break here. Should be headed off shortly. Any thoughts on RV Simo?
It's a fairly popular track. We have to look out for the curbs for sure. Also, lines are very important. You have to account.
William saying that gotta restart for laps.
Yeah, he made a mistake with changing. So yeah, I think Orissimo will be interesting. I don't know if I'll see close fights. The track definitely provides the environment for it.
Okay. We had 20 laps once again, so we are remaking here. One of the many joys of being a host. Power8 seemed to be able to change the laps however he wanted at any time he wanted, but not sure how he is able to do that. Seems to be an issue for some people.
Yeah, you need external tools for that.
Ooh, okay, let's go. Okay. I'm sure y'all have had enough time at this point to see the scoreboard. We're back
No,
into...
Riles got beaten by... What is it?
Hello, Twitch. And we did have the Celsia Turbo in Roddick. And I think we even had someone say they wanted to swap their car after that race. You are allowed to swap your car one time. I want to say it was Flo. You might have had a swap from Campbell to Yanissa.
I think swaps aren't disallowed, but I'm not sure about that.
One racer can use just 2 cars from the car list, so you're allowed to swap as much as you want between 2 cars. But if you go over 2 cars, you'll get penalty points.
I see.
Ooh. Ooh, and yeah, this track is indeed a classic. We see Roddick getting hit off, a couple of people getting hit off. William Adama emerging victorious from the initial battle. Zino, Tova, Jeromu,
Zino
Riles.
getting pushed out very much though. So he's now down in third position. Well, Bios and William lost a bit more. Oh, someone flew across maybe the curbs. I don't know what happened exactly, but they definitely lost control there.
Yeah, the corners are sloped a little bit. I guess they could get launched like that. Maybe another car influencing them a bit. There goes Tova doing something quite similar on one of those curved corners, launching his car up. We got William in third, Zino in second. Zino going to be falling back a little bit.
Now that they're hitting the curve.
Oh,
Again!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So now he's down in fourth. One position loss per crash, and it seems like. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. I was looking at the wrong data there. So William is behind Jeromu by 20 meters.
And Zino taking those turns super wide after what happened. So yeah, it is going to be about 15 meters between all three of them. Now 15 meters is worth a lot. On a track like this, it's extremely windy, so it's going to be worth more than if it was just a straight. Zino, once again, having issues on that curbs. Don't know if it's an XM250 thing. I think it might just be a stress thing. Feeling a little pressure here as he falls into fifth, almost squeezing by. Almost gonna be wrecking though.
Hitting, not even hitting the curb, is hitting the side of the curb. Zino spinning from the left car. Oh, and he's having difficulties trying to get by. Oh my!
Maddie is
all kinds of havoc.
Yeah.
Around. So
I mean,
finally managed to get by.
Maddie driving like an absolute maniac, currently in a lapped position. Not really per the rules of engagement of circuit races, but Maddie's on their own schedule here. Tova whipping by Inigo for 6th place. We'll go ahead and check out the front a little bit. Don't know what's going on down there.
Not that much has changed. Jerome is still ahead by a margin, but we've seen this happen on the previous track. This is not any kind of a guarantee. Wow, I was looking at Tova in the meantime, and he took that turn really weirdly. Oh, he's trying to fight Olmo now. Does he take that turn like that intentionally, that right-hander? Oh no, it's that wall. Well, it definitely touched the wall, but I don't think it was intentional.
Seemed to go for a bit of a wall bang, a little scoop as well.
Is that gonna be an X? Well, I see him, X.
No.
Oh no. Oh no, he's losing a whole lap.
No, it's showing us fine on my screen. It's showing us he's still in 6th on my screen. That's interesting. Zino getting passed by him on my screen.
He's not getting passed by him. If he was on the lead lap, he he wouldn't have repo, I believe.
Right, right. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you for sure. I'm just saying,
So now
just
it's
showing us
Flo
that.
versus Inigo for position 12.
Coming up, all Inigo. Wow, people are all over the track on this one. Literally all over the place. Just natural hazards across the road. It looked like Tom Dom might have gotten an X of some type as well. Tom Dom in 11th currently. Not sure. The radar might be a little bit messed up here. William having a bit of a wreck, and it looked like he was being pursued by Tova, but Tova's apparently a lap behind. So our radar is just going haywire. We got about 10 laps left. It's really hard to say who is in what position for sure. One thing that I can say with pretty high degree of certainty is that Flo and Inigo are fighting. 4 meters between the two. Flo inside angle, but then sets himself up to almost run into that curb. Almost wrecking once again, gets by it, losing a lot of speed, turns, car just veering off for a moment there. It is going to be Inigo taking the lead.
Oh, but now Flo is back behind. Inigo flying into him.
Helps him
But
out.
it seems like Flo will be able to maintain that position.
Yeah.
So as far as I can tell, the standings at the moment are Jeromu, Riles, William, Zino, Flo, Inigo, Tova, Olmo, Matty, Roddick. And I see Tom Dom in last. I don't know if he fixed an X that he had. Or he did not, but interesting for sure.
And Flo is actually fighting with Zino now, but he takes that turn too wide. He's going to fall 30 meters behind him. And once again being pursued by Inigo. Flo flipping over on the curb. More curbs. Inigo getting pushed. Jeromu has to flip his car. That's going to be rough for him. Currently occupying first place, losing a bit of his advantage. Flo has to flip again. It is the battle of the flips here. Taking those curbs so narrow. Probably could save a lot of time by just playing safe. But we'll see. It seems some of these racers trying to figure out the track as they go, and they're being punished quite dearly for it. 5 laps remaining. Will they get it sorted out? Still within striking distance, surprisingly enough. Inigo strikes himself, actually, there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and there's less than 5 laps left at this point. But Inigo is still fairly close, so... no! Oh, Flo crashed out, I believe.
Yeah,
after that,
regifted.
Inigo did. So it's
It's
now
back and forth. These racers are sweating, that's for sure. And they might. It currently shows them as 5th and 6th. That might be. They might be battling for a position 1 or 2 slots higher than that. Flo
well, I
ripping
see
by
them
him.
as 5th and 4th.
Okay, so yeah.
I think it's the difference made by Tova.
Yes, I agree with that.
But one thing is that on my screen, Tova is only 120 behind them. I don't know. He seems to be a lot faster, but there's not enough time for him to catch the 2 of them.
We'll flip up to the front for just a little bit here. Riles, still quite a ways away behind, has a nice lead on the competition behind him, though. Flo having a bit of a breakaway moment, 30 meters ahead of Inigo now, just has to hold on to it, and also got not get ran into by other people. Headed on to their final lap. We'll check through these positions once again. Maddie, pretty close.
So Rails does finish 2nd. Let's see if the rest of the field. Okay,
You're right.
William does finish.
Tova does not finish. It is Zino in 4th place. Flo, Inigo up next.
Zino's missing on my radar. So.
Tom Dom did get a big X from the looks of it. He managed to pass up Maddie as well as Roddick. Was sitting in 11th place, now up to 9th, but coming from 1st place, you know he's got to be pissed about that. Don't know what exactly happened. headed to his final lap. It's almost like he missed multiple laps.
Yeah, it feels like he lost like two to the leaders because he was in the top three, and he's gonna be like 1 minute behind them in the end results. It's like 3 laps actually, time wise. So very unfortunate for him.
Well, rough situation there. Jerome Munrials, they were fourth and third in the previous race, I believe. Now they're taking first and second, and they have been dominant in Division 3. William Adama finding a place for himself on the podium, quite nice. Zino has been near the top for a lot of these races in general, not just today's play day, but he's been doing quite well. Hasn't quite had a breakaway performance, but he's definitely been fending for himself. Got a quick little break for recovery, and then we'll be headed to Jimson Weeds Raceway. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Zino made Jimson Weeds Raceway, so I think he'd have an advantage here. We'll see.
Yeah, he did make the track. But I don't think that will give him that much of an advantage. I don't know.
True, but he does have a spiritual tie to it, so.
Yeah, he does have basically home track advantage. I guess.
Yes,
You're right.
yes.
You're right. You're right.
Roddick on a quick download. We'll see how long it takes. Might have to start without him. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully he's got the speeds that he needs. After that, Special Stage Route 5, followed by K-Tune Speedway and LS Tama Valley Route B.
Yeah, I think Jimson Woods is one of the longest tracks out of these, and it also has quite a bit of top speed, which is a nice bit of a refresher after these first two technical tracks.
Super true. I'm really interested in seeing how these racers handle Special Stage Route 5. There's usually a lot of wall riding on this track, at least in my experience, so we'll see in a lobby of this many people. Got everybody wall riding. We might see some explosions. We'll have to wait and see, though. Of course, got Jimson Weeds up next. Waiting for Roddick to download.
All right. Zino said to get disconnected after no chat messages, but we are sitting in silence waiting for Roddick at the moment.
Classic case of not downloading the pack before you're in the race. Yeah, Zino has seemed to have some internet issues in some of his races. Quite unfortunate whenever internet issues arises, but especially when it's one person with repeated issues. Would hate to have that happen, so he's holding on right now. 2 tracks in, no sign of DCs. And Roddick is back.
Nice. RNG, certain kind of RNG affects players equally. something like network difficulties accept some people a lot more. Because if you have them once, you're likely to have them the next time as well.
True. Okay, and we're headed to Jimson Wheat. Once we finish with this track, we will be at the halfway point. So, points approaching, run out of time if you don't get locked down here.
TomTom gets a great start.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be all about maintenance, but he goes into the grass, and now Flo is behind him in attacking range. Riles is the one behind them, followed by Jerome and William. TomTom spins, so already loses that lead. And there's a huge group of cars fighting for third already. It's Tova, TomTom and William, but Jerome and Kubaizu should also close. TomTom having further difficulties on those sections.
Yeah, you do not want to get caught on the grass on this track.
TomTom another crash. That's like the third time he had a bigger time loss.
Maybe getting in his head a bit from the previous track. Now, do we have repos if you cut corners on this track? I believe that we do have a couple spaces.
Yeah, but it's not as common. It's only really enforced when you really gain quite a bit of time, I think, especially since the grass is also a factor. Zyno overtaking Kubaizush. But almost being able to fight back. Kubaizush goes for a move and then loses even more time.
I mean, these racers are all over the place. We saw TomTom sliding into two people, and then Kabaj responds with a nosedive of his own straight into the wall. Definitely some aggressive racing coming out on these circuit tracks. I know almost in the grass, gonna be spinning out. TomTom in fifth, and battle for first. It's definitely not locked down yet.
Oh yeah. Riles and Flo really close together in the lead. In the meantime, Kubaizu to also fight in the back. Oh, right, these Riles take the lead.
Yeah, Flo had an issue around a corner, got flipped, and is now battling with William. Riles out in a nice little lead for himself. Scared me a little bit, though. All of them scared me a little bit. In fact, on that turn, Flo a little bit wide on that. Huge repo from Roddick. Almost gonna sandbag a couple people. Jerome passes William for the moment.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunately timed repo, but also it seems like Roddick is getting a lap down.
Well, Jerome forced repo, and Flo trying to pass up Riles here, trying to force him over.
Yeah, that's the kind of card that gives you a repo on this track. Which he really tried going for. He really tried to force his way through the grass there. He probably knew that he shouldn't be doing that by then. But at that point, there wasn't a way to change his path.
Flo briefly losing second. Does get turned around a bit, but holds on. And TomTom pushing William out of the way.
Oh, then having difficulties in the very next turn. TomTom showing how difficult it is to drive the Yanissa, I think.
True.
Or how difficult it can be.
Flo
seems to have less issues.
True. I see what you're saying.
But I wonder how that shows in the difference for their pace.
Right, well, Flo seems to be flipping a couple of times, and still, 8 meters behind Riles has closed the gap quite a lot in just one lap. Nice performance by him. TomTom approaching. Jerome 20 meters behind. At this point, Flo running into Riles. He's going to lose a ton of time off the back of that, 30 meters. And now in a battle with Jerome. William Adama joins the battle as well. A couple of taps by Flo, nothing happening.
Yeah, he's gonna come down to the first few turns here, which Williams did try to make a move in, but he overshot it and he caught the next turn, so he got repoed. Now he's 30 meters behind. Zyno is getting closer. And the battle for the lead is also getting closer. Oh, TomTom going a bit wider.
Lap traffic up ahead. Roddick off in the grass.
Yeah, Roddick having clear difficulties here.
On that Celsia Turbo, the sole representative. It's a difficult
Oh,
car.
TomTom's throwing
almost
the car across the curb.
Yeah, almost hitting that cut, almost activating the repo. Manages to avoid it though, and that gap is indeed getting closed. Back to 8 meters, 7 meters.
Yeah, so what I was getting on about with Unisa and how TomTom makes it look harder than maybe Flow is it seems like TomTom is driving it very aggressively. He's throwing it across the turns, he's sending it onto the curb. I guess lag also is a factor in making it seem harder, but...
TomTom fighting!
Oh, and he dives on the inside, he has a better acceleration as well, but Royals will be able to come back on top speed. Now how can they exit this turn? TomTom going onto the grass, so he now has a bit of a gap to overcome again.
Yeah, and the connections, it's between India and South America, so it's quite a bit of distance between the two of them, but I've got to cut that short for now because Flo has recovered an astounding amount.
Yeah, and
Trying to catch.
only 6 meters behind. But as we see, TomTom seems a bit better pace-wise. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's just because I've only watched them for half a lap. Like this, but still, at the moment, TomTom is pulling away and Flo makes a mistake, so he gets passed by Jeremy as well.
Indeed he does, and Jeromu makes a getaway as well. Approaching lap 13 right now for TomTom and Riles. And I believe TomTom is Brazilian, if I'm correct. Our other Brazilian representative, along with G, in Division 1.
Well, if you're wrong, you'll definitely be corrected.
I'll definitely know. So. Chad's in here. What's up?
TomTom looked like it was hitting the wall on my end. 1.5 laps to go. He has to make a move now if he wants to catch Reyes. He has to go for it.
He's trying it.
He's trying, and it seems like it's not working out in his favor.
Absolutely not. Flo was once close to Jeromu, but we saw him in the grass when we flipped over to him, so he's going to be losing some time. Final lap, final chances. We will stay tuned in, but Hope is running out 18 meters. He's 10 meters behind his average against Trials, but he makes it look easy. Taking that turn, apparently much better than Riles, because he has closed the distance in a huge way. He's going to go for it.
Oh, it's going to have better acceleration on the Yanisa. Riles is still in the lead, although we're not quite sure about the exact gaps. Who can have the better final turn? TomTom goes for a dive bomb and he's going to fly away.
My. Shout out to TomTom for trying it. But it is going to be Riles. Flo is going to be following Jeromu. Zyno in 5th. William in 6th. And yeah, Riles and TomTom, it looked like Riles was letting up on the gas there on the final lap. He felt like he was a good ways ahead. He just had to play safe. And that gave TomTom the exact chance that he needed to get into the fight. And fight he did. Tried to maybe force a repo there. I'm not sure, but it ended up not working out in his favor. He's from Argentina. That was my original guess, but for some reason, I just remembered him speaking Portuguese. My bad, though. And Roddick, maybe not can choose not to finish here.
Okay, so apparently Riles had to slow down to brake in one of those turns in the final lap. I wonder if the points are being written somewhere by them because I honestly don't see them. What I do know is that Jeromu is leading the overall table. 4 points ahead of Riles, 9 points ahead of William and Flo.
Okay. So, we're at the halfway point of today's races. Special stage Route 5 is up next, and we talked about the wall riding. It could be a factor. Almo going to be changing his car. 1 minute until we start. Tom Dom. Car switch. The controversial Celsius Turbo. And also, he was the only one driving the Emperor in the knockout session, I will remind you. We had one Emperor representative across all three divisions that we watched, and Tom Dom was the one who held that honor in Division 3.
Yeah, and I guess it is a unique pick at the moment. Although Roddick is also on that car. He was having difficulties with that. A lot of them, but that might have been due to poor track knowledge as well.
Yeah. And away we go. Only 12 laps of special stage Route 5, which kind of is surprising to me because I don't think of this stage as being incredibly long, but I guess it is. I guess it kind of is pretty long.
Yeah, it's like 40 seconds all around. The three high acceleration cars get up to a good start at the front of the field. William is behind them. He'll have to try some kind of a move in the tunnel if he wants to catch them, but he gets caught in all kinds of issues. So William will be the one falling back to 7th here.
We might have a I do believe it is in the rulebook that you can call for one, but I don't. Maybe not going to respect it. I think it's in the rulebook. But anyways, assuming that we're not going to have one, Flo, Tom Dom, Tova, Kabijus, Jeromu, William, all in a line here. I guess this technically isn't a disconnect, so maybe this doesn't qualify for a Our host is not reing, so we will continue. Yeah. Flo or Tom Dom was approaching Flo, but not choosing anything, going a bit crazy. It's a Celsius Turbo, a bit more difficult to handle. Kabai just flipped up all around.
Oh, wow. And now William and Jerome go by. Someone out very far in the lead, it's Flo. And William and Jerome catching Tova in the straight because Tova doesn't have the top speed.
Right.
Jerome will be staying the outside and he is ahead just enough so that he can possibly maintain it. He's going for the wall rider. And he's also trying his car against William Adama. He'll be going for the dive bomb there. We've seen that overtaking spell, but Tova goes by both on the inside line with Unisa. And Flo having difficulties in the chicane, which is arguably the hardest part of the track. Jeromu with the top speed. Tova trying to block. Tova trying to gain the momentum from that. He's almost going by Flo, but it will be Jeromu overtaking him still. Flo blocking on the inside line. Jeromu still being in second. He won't be able to get by here.
Tovas flying. It was quite funny to see William on the side, capitalizing on all of that chaos and just going in a straight line. Jeromu continuing his strategy of just getting in front of everyone else on that turn, not caring about taking the safe route or whatever, just trying to get in front of everybody and blocking people on that big curved wall ride. Jeromu Flo, bit of a gap on William. He's closing it though in that fast car. Tova trying to stop Kabaizish.
Yeah, that
Yeah, and
if Tova's blocking like that in a nice way, you have to try for some kind of creative move.
right.
You have to maybe bait them into thinking you're going around the right, and you can go around the left then, or something like that,
Right.
because otherwise they will be able to block you and read your moves. Dom Dom coming with the Celsius Turbo.
He's skirting through.
But, oh no, he's not gonna have that much difficulty in the chicane. Top speed is not that high, so Tova won't have to block him, but they'll both have to block the coming Kubaizush, who does go by Tom Dom, doesn't go by Tova. Doesn't look like it, at least not yet.
Yeah, it looks like Tom Dom picked. Ooh, Kabai's just losing a lot there. Tom Dom stopping him in his tracks. Zyno trying to take 6th place, but gonna get slapped around a little bit.
It looked a lot like lag was involved there between the two of them.
Tom Dom, difficult chicane.
And Tova having a way harder one, because he loses at least 2 places. Zyno has decent top speed as well, but Kubaizush and Zyno aren't close to anyone, and Zyno crashes in the first turn. So he's now in aggressive Tova. It's very interesting to see. I think this is the most fun kind of car difference. When someone's better in the turn, someone better in the straights, the lap count comes out similar to each other, but the car with the better top speed, is gonna be able to try to go around on the straight, regardless. Zyno crashes and Inigo passes both him and Tova.
Yeah, and that is going to be a close battle for 6th place. Tova falling out just a little bit more.
And Zyno does overtake Inigo. Tova, oh wow, huge loss of time.
Tom
And ahead
Dom.
of them, Tom
yeah.
Dom and Kubaizush are looking at 4th place. Oh! Tom Dom not able to get right there, but the acceleration here,
It's not going to
He's gonna
matter.
he's gonna have to try to slingshot past there if he wants to keep it on the straight. Then he can try to block.
Right.
With the connection
Kabai's
difference, it might still be possible.
very true. But not able to catch him. Kabai's just taking full advantage of that increased top speed. And
And in the lead, Flo and Jeromu fighting. Jeromu's gonna have the better top speed, but also Flo crashes in the chicane. So
Tom Dom
never
overtaking.
mind that.
And it's going to be
And
back
they're
to
catching William as
Kabai's.
well. Kubaizush having the top speed again.
He's not-
Dom Dom not able to block.
Not clued in to Kabai's just going for that overtake. Maybe letting him have it. I mean, he definitely has the advantage here at the tourney portion of the track, but needs more of an advantage than he's been getting to not immediately lose it in the straightaway.
Yeah, it also feel like lag was a bit of a factor there, because it looked like Tom Dom reacted a bit late.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and it could just be that Tom Dom did not realize that Kubaizush was so much faster. Still, he's now 25 meters behind him, so he didn't have a good technical section of the track either.
Yeah, we're running out of track at this point. But these positions still could get locked. I mean, there's very little gaps between even second place. Like Kobayashi could potentially even get second place if, for example, if Flo messed up the chicane and William hit him. As a result, that would be all that Kobayashi needed to pass up two. As we head into the final lap, Tom Dom a bit further away. He's going to be pretty much out of contention here, unless one of them make a mistake, and then maybe he can fight there. But it is the final lap. There are 12 meters between the three here for that second place position, all the way down to fourth.
Yeah, this is definitely the closest at the moment. So what I'll be looking at, and Flo, can he make the chicane?
Yeah,
No,
I
he
was
does make a mistake.
wondering.
Kobayashi can take the inside. Is he gonna have enough speed? I don't think it will be because the start-finish line is gonna be coming up, but it's not that soon. It's not that soon, but not gonna be enough.
And I was wondering, I was like, Flo has messed up that part, and it's the final lap. The pressure could get to him. Indeed, it did. He flipped it, and that's William with a nice second place for himself. Flo with third. Tom Dom down in fifth. Kabajis in fourth. And it looks like Riles might have dipped out after... Actually, no, Riles still... Yeah, Riles just... I mean, he literally asked for a like 5 seconds after the race started, and Roddick literally had to download the entire fucking map. So, sorry for my French, but there it is. That wasn't French, that was English. So, anyways, we're gonna be headed to next to final lap. We are just commentators, not the adjudicators of the rules, so it will be neither here nor there. K-Tune Speedway. Didn't see the okay. And then 18 laps of that.
So 1 second.
Sure. On second thought, it is pretty reasonable that you wouldn't see it. I mean, you're in the middle of a race. You might even have high chat on since you're in a tournament match. Maybe you don't want to see chat. So it's hard to blame him.
Yeah, so I believe points-wise, Jeromu is leading with 79, and Tom Dom and Riles are fighting for second with 63 and 61 points, but Riles was fighting for first until that race, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was indeed.
So that's...
Oh, right. We're not going to have the scoreboard updated, and the reason for that is we had a...
Let me see if I can do that.
Okay, we can try to do it, but what you were seeing is that we're gonna have 2 session logs because we had to remake the lobby after the first track, so it's gonna be tough to get that information fully accurate for y'all. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a rough decision for them to not read for Riles, but on second thought, it does make sense why William would have not seen it. So it's kind of hard to blame him for that. Unfortunate situation for Riles, though, for sure. Looks like he's going to be moving on, and we'll go ahead and head into it. K-Tune Speedway. This is definitely, as we talked about before the races started, this is a classic track. A very popular circuit track. And we're going to see it be raced on 4 unique Super Pro cars. XM250 brought by Zyno, Roddick, and Tom Dom on Celsia. Rest on the Campbell, as well as the Yanissa.
Yeah, it seems like the Yanissas are having the best starts, but Zyno is up there, and Inigo is also challenging them. William is close behind. Oh! Flo and Tova crash. Tova is the one getting pushed to the side, I believe, or was it Flo? Regardless, one of them flew out of the track to the right, and now there was a big break, and Zyno managed to get through into second, Inigo into third, Jeromo is running fourth.
Yeah, a rough start for a number of the racers there. A couple of them involved. Some of the accidents caused by their own volition, some not quite as clear. Flo snagging a couple positions, sneaking up behind Inigo as well as Jeromu, taking two. Jeromu gonna try to take it back, not gonna be successful. Does eventually take it back as Flo goes for a wide wall ride. Riles and William battling for fifth. William on the inside. Riles sends William spinning, thanking him for his efforts. Inigo sends spinning as well. Tom Dom in the Celsia, currently sitting in eighth. Kabaijish in the lead. Jeromu falls back one position, continues his fight with Flo, and Zyno also wanting.
Gumball there also seems strong on this track, which is what Jerome was using. But Zyno from behind with the except of a bit of a dive bomb. He's gonna be pushing him, but he's still not gonna be able to get by. Jerome manages to hold on.
I'm sorry, that was a really dirty move from my perspective, but it didn't work out in his favor. They are going to continue on. Flo, Jerome, and Zyno quite close to first place.
Honestly though, you can't always even be sure, especially in Division 3, if they're actually going for moves, if they're just having hard times at that part of the track.
Yeah.
Because still, Zyno went for it again, so I think either he's trying the dive bomb, or he's just finding that part hard because it's a bit of a chicane at almost full speed on a Super Pro car. You have to slow down for it.
And Kabaijish has fallen out of second, almost falling into third. Flo has been performing so well. Had an issue on the chicane on the previous track on the final lap, but is looking to make a full recovery here at strong first place in the preliminary laps here.
Oh, Kabaijish flipping on the curb.
Yeah.
So now Jerome was in second. I believe Flo would be jumping into third with that in the points, but that's gonna put him way back.
Yikes. And in the blink of an eye from first to fifth, and he's going to need to have the mental fortitude to make it through these remaining 10 laps and realize that that can happen to the other four racers ahead of him. And he can also work on closing the gap himself as he is in fourth, not fifth.
Oh, Roddick is gonna become lap traffic.
Getting pushed out of the way a bit.
To get by. No, never mind.
Oh no.
Jerome managed to get by. Kabaijish almost, but
no.
Roddick basically fights
all over
back.
the place.
Oh no. Okay, they both got by.
Yeah, we're good. But Zyno and Flo are gonna have a rude awakening, but he's off into the corner.
And Flo hits the curb. He's gonna be able to come back onto the track, but will lose 30 meters to Zyno, and Riles is now gonna be right behind.
Kabaijish and Jeromu, though, are within 10 meters, mostly unscathed by the Roddick incident. Kabaijish with the overtake in that interesting turn. It's been a big issue for a lot of the racers here today, and Jeromu seems to be no exception. Kabaijish taking big advantage of it. And excellent turns by Kabaijish. Flo and Riles in a battle.
If Kabaijish masters the track on that car, I think it will be harder for Jerome. Because Unisa clearly has an advantage on technical tracks in general. It's more down to Kabaijish not messing it up now.
Maddie now a hazard on the road, almost going to be running into third place, I believe it was, but someone getting by. Flo is stuck. I was hoping that his car would just naturally get unstuck. Wasn't happening. Lost a bunch of time there to Riles.
Oh no.
Kabaijish with that healthy
already
lead.
On a bit of a recovery from that previous race. Oh, he's also gonna have run into that curve,
Oh
getting
no.
stuck on the green on the side.
Oh no.
And further difficulties, Dom Dom getting by.
Oh my. Flo's comeback, mounting comeback, getting blown away like dust in the wind. Was in first place, looking super competitive, but a string of mistakes has caused him to fall far down. He's still got some room, but has had a bit of a domino effect.
Yeah, at least he got by Inigo and Tom Dom, which is 2 places back, so it's not gonna put him back to the lead though. And that might be frustrating for him.
Still has some points that he can secure though. Jeromo 25 meters behind Kabaiser and 30 meters ahead of Zino. And most of the close battles have evaporated. William and Flo. Flo going to be passing up William, going to be taking back 5th place. Tom Dom struggling a bit down in 7th, it looked like. And we'll stay, at least on the main screen, we'll stay locked in on first and second. Jeromu, 2 tied on that corner and was very close to catching Kabaiser. Now has to fight with Zino, who looks to have possibly made a minor mistake. So he does have a bit more breathing room than he did. But, ooh, 40 meters.
And Zino further mistakes on the curb on the U-turn, so that's now more than a simple breathing room, that's a mistake room even. That's gonna give a player comfort.
Yeah, and we were just flipping through all the racers there. As you could tell from in the bottom left, if you were checking, there was not a whole lot of action happening. So we will stay on the front. Zino getting spun around on the turn, currently occupying 3rd place, was ahead of Jeromu for a moment. Now potentially falling out of the podium entirely if Riles is able to pass on this final lap. Kabai's just
a few turns for him he could still go for, but he's 10 meters behind, so he has to close up the gap if he wants to go for an overtake. And he doesn't have enough time, it seems, unless Zino messes up the final turn. No, it seems like Zino will be the one getting the podium place.
Flo with 5th. Inigo challenging 7th. Tom Dom up way up on the hill there, but it's okay. Tova and Olmo in a fight for 9th. And the rest of our racers wrapping it up. A thank you being shouted out to Roddick. Roddick was an absolute madman on that track. Really endangering the lives of many circuit racers on this track. It was a bit much. Fortunately, most people were able to escape. Maddie finishes out.
It's probably hard to drive that car, but also he did pick that, and
yeah, there's not many places to veer off to the side and let other people pass, for example. But LS Tama Valley Route B, 15 laps for our final race. And if it's what I'm thinking about, there are some crazy last turns on this track.
So the points table might be working.
Okay, we can try
but
it.
I don't know about its accuracy.
Okay. Okay, so it does look like Jeromo with 99 points, Rouse with 74, is currently ahead of Tom Dom despite pretty much having to drop out of a race due to some issues with his controller, or I guess his controls in general. William nearby, 67 points. Kabaiser with 65, and Zino with 60, Flo 57. So a big contention, but the issue is we're out of time here. We've only got 1 track left, so something like...
So
Yeah.
Jeromu has basically won the session.
Yeah.
And It's gonna be interesting though how it goes down behind them. Behind him at least. Riles and TomDom both have an insane chance at second. William and Kubaizush too still. They're only 9 points within.
And yeah, as you'll notice, I do believe we have fewer racers on this track than we did the previous. It shows how high the stakes are, how much pressure there is going into this. And this is the LS Tama Valley Route B that I was thinking of. William getting a nice repo there at the beginning, two maybe. Yeah.
TomDom as well. So Olmo leading the race, who we've not really seen out in front. I wonder how long it will last.
Scary portion of the track.
Attack. Zaino behind also having difficulties. 3 people, they're going 3 wide.
Got an X! He's gonna hit Maddie! That's it for Olmo, at least for now. Jeromu, Kabaizus, Riles, Zaino, Tova is gonna be our top 5. TomDom close by, not quite in that striking range yet. And yeah, we didn't quite get to see it because we were looking at the X, but that is a terrifying finishing turn of this track. Actually, the entire sequence here, starting right here, is all kind of psycho. But we'll see how they're able to hold on. Doing quite well for themselves.
As they're running, Riles, who's running fourth, would be second. Kubaizush was in 13 points based on his position, but he makes a mistake. And that drops him all the way down to 5th. So a single 2 position change can change quite a bit in points, especially if it's up in the front.
Right.
And Riles jumps into second, which would basically secure his second spot.
And last time around, we saw Zaino go into the grass here at the end of the turn. Actually, we saw Riles do it a bit there on this lap. It's not going to affect them too much. Tova and Riles battling for second, over under.
Yeah, and Tova's second now. Tova, who's actually kind of fighting Flo in the points table, but he's gonna have to repo.
That's a huge loss.
He almost cut it again, actually.
Oh no. TomDom, podium, not quite. Too narrow on that turn.
Tova in the back is losing few further positions, but he's trying to fight it. TomDom entering the podium, but only for the moment. Because Zaino takes it back, Kubaizush flying behind them. TomDom basically wallbang is not gonna be beneficial.
Oh my. Oh no. Zaino not getting X or repo or anything like that, but he does get put back quite a bit. Seems to be closing it, but another difficult portion of the track. He's up in the grass. Kabaizus is as well. Final turn.
Kubaizush. Yeah, Zaino could still catch Kubaizush in the points, I believe, if he passes TomDom. Maybe they would be tied. So that's also interesting. A lot could still happen regarding these. And Riles is keeping second for the time being, who unfortunately had, well, not a disconnect, but basically won because he had no control of his car. He had to change some settings, I guess. And he did ask for a restart, but either he was too late for that, the host didn't see, I believe it was the latter from... based on the chat, but still, he's now in second, trying to ensure the second position in the points. TomDom is the one behind though, so he is fighting in points.
Yeah, and TomDom is driving this like a madman. He goes for a huge, just like open air launch over 2 ramps, unintentional ramps, but he nails it, and he's trying to catch Rouse, but a huge cut is going to result in a repo and a loss of about 50 meters So going to be very quiet on that front for now. Zyno, Kabaisis, Inigo, all in the yellow with each other.
Yeah, Tova is quite close to Inigo though. So he could still have a chance at least 6th position.
Even more than 6. He's definitely within shot of Zyno too. Zyno has been in the grass here and there, has been up on the curbs here and there. Hasn't been showing a ton of stability.
Oh, Inigo and Tova touched, and Tova went on the
Yeah.
grass, but he had better acceleration in the next part of the track. And there's a long straight here. Inigo might have the top speed, but Tova manages to hold on to 6th. And now he's heading towards Zyno. At least he's gonna try to attack Zyno, who's gonna be flipping, so there's no need to do any extra maneuvers here.
Tova.
Until Tova himself flips, so now Inigo is past and Zyno is right behind.
Yeah, this has been a topsy turvy group of races. Almo trying to catch a couple of positions of his own here. Out in first, still going to be 60 meters for Jeromu, 70 meters for Riles ahead of Tom Dom, 50 for Kabaisis. Tova, Almo, Zyno continues to be the battle to watch. Zyno in the back of the bus for now.
Yeah, Zyno seems to have some pace, but also not a lot of consistency on this track. And that's been costing him quite a few places in his past few laps. Almost chasing Tova. Ahead of Tova is
Inigo.
yeah, it is Inigo, and he's not far, and he's not far of Kubaizush, but Tova makes a mistake, so now the chances of Tova will be worse to catching them. Olmo will be the one behind, but Inigo is actually closer to Kubaizush than to the fight behind him.
Right, and we are running into the 14th lap. Some people already on it. Positions haven't changed much near the front. Inigo and Kabaisis continues to be a battle. Tova and Alma and Zyno continues to be a battle. We'll try to stay locked on both. We're looking at Kabaisis and Inigo right now as they head into their next to last lap, whipping it around. Looks to be the same car. Yes, it is Campbell R. And okay, that's a potential lap traffic up ahead.
Yeah, that would be. I'm not sure who that is. Could be Matty.
I believe it is.
And Tom Dom falling behind as well, so.
Final lap. Tensions are high. Last track, last lap. This is it. Tom Dom needs some points. And he's going to be in the defensive mode here. Needs to try and maximize his time. Does he take the launch? He doesn't this time around.
I believe to beat Riles in the points, he'd need to be ahead of him, so. That's gone. Inigo could pass Kubaizush on this final turn here still. Is he gonna go for the move? No, he's gonna be content with 5th.
Zyno out in the grass. It is going to be Olmo in front of Tova for the finish. And that's it. William going to be finishing us up here, and then Maddie. And we will be done. Impressive performance. We saw a lot of accidents start to come out there at the very end of some of these tracks. Special stage Route 5 immediately comes to mind. But yeah, this was a pretty cut and dry track. Inigo, Olmo, Tova, Zyno, Kabaisis all fighting here and there. Tom Dom with a nice 3rd place finish. Hopefully we'll get those scores updated for you shortly. And that will wrap up Division 3 Playday 5. This is our first Super Pro Circuit session of the week. We'll have one tomorrow, and we'll have one on Sunday.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be Division 1 tomorrow, so
Yep.
I'm very interested to see that one. And then we'll have Division 2 and 4 on Sunday. And Remember that Division 1 doesn't get streamed on this channel, it gets streamed to hotseat_GG.
Absolutely right. Now, do we have the scores updated?
It should be the final results on one hand, on another, I'm still not sure about the accuracy.
Right. So we did ultimately have two different session logs being used because we had to remake the lobby after the first race. So this isn't 100% guaranteed correct, but it looks pretty correct to me. Jeromu with first place finish, 124 points, quite a dominant performance by him. It looked like he was going to finish in first on Foxglen as well, but wasn't quite able to find out on Foxglen. Did find out a number of the other tracks. Riles, 94 points. Yeah.
I mean, Jerome's performance is fairly dominant until you think about the fact that Royals didn't race one, so you do wonder how he would have done.
Right.
That's right.
But the thing is, Riles at the end of the day is 30 points behind Jeromu. It would have been a tough ask. I do agree, though. Absolutely could have influenced it quite a lot. Could be Riles sitting in first, but it is not. With 30-point lead, it is going to be Jeromu. And then Tom Dom in third with a nice hefty lead over his opponents who were in fourth and fifth, Kabajis and William Adama, 78 and 74 points respectively. Zino in sixth, Flo in seventh, some flashes of brilliance, but ultimately was not able to capitalize on them in the way that he wanted to for sure. Inigo in eighth, Tova ninth, Almo 10th, Maddie 11th, and Roddick finishing us out in 12th. So that is going to wrap it up for us on Playday 5 Super Pro Circuit Session. Unless we got anything else.
Okay, so I still want to get a bit back on that Jerome Riles because
Yeah.
one thing I